While Detective Conby was grateful to be back at Derceto, he was eager to test his hypothesis. After having suffered through that sinister world, dressed as the French Quarter, Jeremy's writing could be read much more literally. What if Jeremy used his talisman to actually visit those places he mentioned in the book? Conby felt certain that this was the answer. He wouldn't find Jeremy hiding inside Derceto. He would be in one of those other worlds. And to follow in his steps, Conby would have to investigate the old clock and the boiler and find out what part they played.
I'm not gonna walk out of this now. I need to help Emily save her uncle. I need the key.
Lost Plantations of Louisiana, Thierry Briclot, 1917. Derceto was a small plantation on the eastern shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The land was considered difficult for industry and was sold for only $30 to Elijah Pickford in 1818. Pickford employed hundreds of workers from nearby New Orleans to clear the woods and build a small plantation mansion facing the lake with a striking Greek Revival temple facade. Derceto kept a modest production of Perique tobacco and indigo that persisted up till the Civil War. During the antebellum era, Derceto was the source of many rumors concerning voodoo and witchcraft. People who traveled the lake reported seeing people dance at night in front of bonfires, bleating and wailing. On June 17, 1862, Captain J.W. Norton of the Union Army recounts leading a raiding party from ships anchored in Lake Pontchartrain in order to seize control of Derceto and free the slaves working there. The captain was surprised to find the workers fighting back with unprecedented zeal. Norton's account describes these men and women as enraged with fanaticism. Pickford reportedly tried to placate the raiders, but was shot in the confusion. Captain Norton left the mansion burning and retreated to his ships with his men. Derceto was left in ruins for several decades. The ownership of the land was long disputed and returned to the Ledoux family in 1901. Several police reports were filed during the following years as the Ledoux tried to get rid of a camp of squatters on their land. The police made several visits to remove the trespassers, but the people kept returning. On November 1, 1907, Inspector Legras of the police charged a deadly attack in order to save several children kidnapped by the squatters. Many were killed and even more were jailed. The following year, Ledoux rebuilt Derceto, incorporating the surviving stone foundation and adding a magnificent wrought iron conservatory. The farmland had been reclaimed by the surrounding woods, so it was no longer profitable to use as a plantation. Instead, the house was turned into an artist's colony. The Astarte Artist Colony was a successful group of artists, including figures such as painter Heinrich Cassel and poet Nora Keith. The group was also known for their beloved Mardi Gras crew called the Pirates of Pontchartrain. On September 29, 1915, a tropical hurricane tore through Louisiana, causing Lake Pontchartrain to flood New Orleans. Due to the remote location of Derceto, it took almost 2 weeks for outsiders to learn that the artists' colony was abandoned. The 12 residing artists had all vanished without a trace. The empty mansion of Derceto still stands on the shore of Lake Pontchartrain, with much of its temple facade intact. The Ledoux family currently has no intention of repairing the house.
It's wedged shut. What happened? Everything's normal again? Right. Got it. Hey. Huh. It's wedged shut. I need the key. Oh. It's stained. This must be the clock that Jeremy wrote about in the... Looks like the plate that held the talisman in the seance room. But it's broken and missing some pieces. I need the key.
Yeah, sorry, Detective. Didn't mean to obstruct justice or anything.
That's fine.
You know, I'm kind of busy with my own case of a missing person. I was wondering if you've seen Grace, a girl about yay high?
I can't say that I have. Why are you asking?
Well, I'm looking for her.
Is she in trouble?
No. She's just hiding somewhere. But we can't have a rascal like that running around unchecked. At a time like this, you understand?
Well, I haven't seen her.
Well, Let me know if you find her. I'll be around. I'll keep an eye out for your man, Jeremy. You scratch my back, Detective, and I'll scratch yours.
McCarthy reminded Detective Conby of an old barfly he used to know. He detested him. There was no getting around it. McCarthy was going to have a hard time getting on his good side. If it wasn't for the collection of peculiar statues, the old astronomical clock would draw every eye in the room. To Conby, it wasn't the intricate clockwork that stood out, but the odd-looking plate on the inside. It reminded him of the ritual bench in Miss Jackson's seance room, where he had manipulated the talisman to open a door back to Derceto. He wanted to try to replicate the procedure, but found that the inner part of the plate was broken. He would have to find the missing pieces and put the plate back together.
Looks like everything's back to normal here.
Emily's here.
Huh. How eccentric. What are these symbols? Looks like alchemy, or star constellations.
Will I need to remember how to get them out again? They are locked up for good reason. I am sure she is still able to whisper the answer in the ears of the wrong people. But not for long. I will see her burned soon enough. That black goat will be sacrificed to put an end to it all. Then it will all be over. No more Derceto, and sadly, no Astarte. Those good pirates of Pontchartrain. May you still sail the lake, until you find the shores of Hali.
The Astarte Artist Colony. I remember hearing about their disappearance. Must have been 15 years or more now.
did it! I crossed the thresholds to my intended destination without a focusing device. My talisman now knows these roads, and I have no need for the plates. I can find my way to Lafayette as easy as I find my own room. I visited the grave of my father and seen the oven waiting for me. Thank you for opening these doors. I now must summon my courage and go back to that hateful mound outside the oil rig. I hope you'll be feeling better when I return. Jeremy.
These paintings got some grim-looking rot on them. Got it.
Detective Conby had a hard time understanding what had happened. It did feel similar to when he was pulled into the French Quarter, but with less power and purpose. Did he cause this, or was it something else?
What the hell is... I think I've seen this somewhere. There was something in the commonplace book about this. I think the clock broke. Or maybe it just stopped at a very precise place. There's a picture in the black glass. It's showing me something. It's the hallway outside Jeremy's room. I entered another one of Jeremy's memories.
May 1923. Monday. All okay. Ready for delivery. Maintenance. Oil pump must be serviced. Any tampering causes large spills unless properly forestalled. Tuesday. Shipment delayed but delivered. Maintenance. Service bridge close to broken. Wednesday. Prospectors reluctantly agreed to show the burial mound to Mr. Hotwood, a painter, who read about our finds in the papers. He means to return tomorrow and try to find a way inside. Thursday. Mr. Hotwood's efforts delayed. Workers seemed nervous about his presence. Hotwood promised not to return to the compound. Instead, he has taken up an offer by L'Officier, the riverboat captain, who means to pilot him to the site tomorrow morning. Hopefully that's the end, and work can resume. Maintenance. Bridge from the oil tower to the bayou has collapsed. Sabotage suspected.
This is the devil that guides us now.
I need the key. Something missing.
As his pride faded, Detective Conby was left with a feeling of unease. He had successfully managed to enter a whole new world. How could this be? And why did he accept this so readily? One thing was clear. There were no answers to be found by standing around questioning reality. Knowing only what he read in the commonplace book, Conby headed off to look for Jeremy in the hateful mound.
Pretty weak. Just need something to break it. hateful mound Jeremy talked about in his book.
Don't come any closer. I'm armed.
Get that thing out of my face.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I'm just a detective trying to find something called Tarawea.
You after Jeremy too? Why?
I'm working for his niece. She wants to make sure he's alright.
He might be unharmed, but far from all right. He's a curse upon Deseto.
Here we go again.
What?
Oh, Christ in heaven.
It was a bust. The oil rig and the hateful mound led him nowhere closer to finding Jeremy. Conde was sure he had struck gold when he found Jeremy's bag, but it was just a trap set by Lottie, another of Deseto's orderlies. Things got out of hand real quick, but somehow Conde managed to find his way back to Deseto none the wiser. At least it was one item off his list. Now he had to figure out what to do with the boiler.
Reflections on the Power of the Verb in Certain Texts by Juan Luis Jorge. To act is in itself divine. Even the slightest movement of our hand is evidence of our soul in motion. Yet our free will is so easily overwhelmed by the dullness of everyday life. Our actions become rote and rigid in spite of luxury and comfort. True divinity is found in the choice of leaving the stage where we all perform. People who discover this freedom unexpectedly will be struck by the terror of this revelation and become paralyzed, or worse, turn to suicide. However, if you are able to weather that storm, you will discover that there is a divine path beyond that fear. There is a chance to dismount your destiny and make something new. Something that hasn't been planned for or predestined. There is difficulty in explaining this type of acting as it transcends our everyday choices. This isn't some banal decision choosing one career over the other, or even who I should marry. Leaving the stage, no matter how, isn't a matter of course correction. It's a rejection of the story that the Creator is telling.
It's wedged shut. It worked. I don't think I have everything I need.
The Barlow lens. Instructions. To double the magnification of your telescope, simply fit this Barlow lens to your instrument. Then operate the fine tuners to adjust the distance between your lenses. This is easily done while looking through your eyepiece. Simply search for a position where your picture is clear and appears flat. When correctly tuned, your telescope should present a clear picture with magnificent magnification.
What's this? Now we're talking. Oh.